Caitlin, this was not an ideal situation for you this season, but how much of an element of basketball learning were you able to get in having an extended period to just sit and watch and observe and be in the huddle and almost take on the role of another set of coaching eyes with this group this season?
I mean, it's not what I envisioned by any means. But, I've talked with a few people about this. I think, when I get a few years down here in my career, I think this is a moment in a season I'll look back on and be like, this is why I am who I am today. And that's obviously probably pretty challenging to think in that way right now, but I truly believe that. And, it was hard sitting on the bench. I'm not going to lie. There were certainly some hard days, but, I think it taught myself how to be a really good leader and how to be a really good teammate and how to empathize for your teammates in certain situations. When you're in the heat of battle, your emotions are high and, you feel things differently. And I think when you're on the sidelines and you don't have your jersey on, you can observe and really watch people and learn about people. And, I don't think it was so much for me like the basketball. I mean, obviously you learn about basketball. That's always how I've learned. I've been a basketball junkie. You watch games, you watch the NBA, you watch college, you just have basketball on. That's the best way to improve your IQ, but also to learn about people and ask them questions and watch the way they operate. And for myself, getting to do that with my teammates, I think is probably the biggest lesson I learned. And just, how can I show up every single day and, pour into them and be there for them, but also, going forward down the road, if I have a teammate that's injured or hurt or going through a tough moment, I know I will always show up for them and be there for them and check in on them, because it is an incredibly isolating thing, and you don't realize that until you go through it. And, everybody says it, but you don't feel it unless you go through it. So I think all of that is probably what I learned most.